What's up, guys? We're here at AMC Town Square with Chasing Cinema,
Mr. James Hsu.com,
and we're here for
Bad Boys. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Everybody now we know what they
Hey!
and we'll leave no manual straight.
Hey!
So you wanna be in my house? Hey! Yeah, I used to know all the lyrics.
I'm impressed.
It's pretty good. Love the song. Bad Boys, 1995. Did you see Martin Lawrence and Will Smith join forces at the heights of their career to make the first Bad Boys film?
I love Will Smith.
Yeah.
From my knowledge, I've seen every Will Smith film.
Yes.
Except for Bad Boys.
Okay. So that means you saw Bad Boys 2?
No.
Oh, no, Bad
It's
Boys
very
2.
strange.
Which is very strange, because 2003, maybe you missed Bad Boys 1 in 95. That's one thing. But you jumped to 2003, I would assume you've seen that.
Yeah, weird.
Anyway, the second one I remember being really big when I was a teenager. Everyone kind of loved those movies. They thought they were really funny. You know, before Fast and the Furious, Bad Boys was kind of like the last outrageous action, franchise.
Just go nuts.
Yeah, things were going crazy. You know, Mike Lowry was known for just being, like, in the movie they referred to him as Bulletproof and all these crazy stunts. And Will Smith was still not a comedian yet. He was still kind of an action star, because when we first met Will Smith, he was an action star, and then he got into the comedy game, and now he kind of dabbles in a little bit of everything. But movies that I enjoyed but never stuck with me per se. Bad Boys for Life, though. 17 years it's been since we've seen Martin Lawrence and Will Smith join forces, and it's been a while since most people have seen Martin Lawrence. Will Smith, on the other hand, we've seen a lot of Will Smith. But this is a movie that obviously people have really wanted. It wasn't a movie that I've been, knocking on producers' door, but it's also, I think they've turned down at least 4 different times a Bad Boys 3 pitch. So obviously these people working on this movie, Will Smith, Martin Lawrence, all of these guys really wanted.
Yeah, they've always talked about this.
Really wanted to do the story, and they wanted to do it right, so they waited for a script, and now we have Bad Boys for Life. So what did you feel about Bad Boys for Life?
Believe it or not, I came in thinking I'm gonna really enjoy this film.
Yes.
It's gonna be a Will Smith film, and this was exactly what I wanted.
Yes.
I really enjoyed this movie. Yeah, it was really good. Will Smith was awesome. The action scenes were awesome. Very Michael Bay-ish.
Yes.
They had his little tropes, if you will, and I'm glad they did it. And it makes me want to go, because they're on Netflix right now.
Yes.
It makes me want to watch part 1 and 2. So good for them on that. On the new cast, Vanessa Hudgens, I like her.
Yes.
She was cool for what she did, but she don't have maybe 20 lines in the movie.
Yeah.
And then the love interest for Will Smith.
Yes.
The not captain or the leader of
the leader of Ammo. Yes.
Hot.
Yes.
Enjoyed her. She was great. The annoying Asian guy. It seems like Asian guys always have to play that character. It seems like, but
like 21.
Yeah. But and in this movie, he didn't have much to play with either.
Yes.
But for what he was, I was fine with it. But the one guy that did make an impact was that character that it was like the computer guy.
He was the tech guy.
The tech guy. He was really cool.
Yeah,
really
he was.
Cool
They
character.
made a lot of fun with the side characters. From what I remember, this is probably the most Fast and the Furious Bad Boys, meaning like it's the most over the top, it's the most crazy. But I have not seen a sequel this good in some time, I think, because it's a movie that made me really miss the characters, and it felt that we were continuing these character arcs. Now, this is something that you would expect of sequels, but in the day and age when they start writing the script for a sequel the day after the first one comes out, that kind of gets lost. Back in the day when you'd get a sequel, it would be time pass. You'd miss these characters and you'd kind of pick up where you left off, or at least want to conclude this storyline. And this movie picks up in a place where now they're in completely different places of their life. Will Smith is still riding the badge and the gun and still enjoying being bulletproof. Mike Lowry, Martin Lawrence is obviously becoming more of a family man, becoming more sentimental, and also kind of becoming more conscious of the lifestyle that he lived, meaning the people that he's hurt, the lives that he's taken, so on and so forth. For me, I thought the movie had great action. I thought it was stylish. I was so shocked because the movie, I think, multiple times tried to do really creative things. There's this really great shot in the movie when we're watching someone shoot above themselves at a person walking on a second story, and the camera tilts and you're watching it from the side view, and it's not a huge thing, and it's not this big moment of the movie, but it's just like, okay, at least there's someone like, how can we make shootouts more interesting, who's sitting there trying. Also, something I've not seen in a shootout, there was this really clever sequence where there's this huge stained glass window that started kind of crashing in, and they did something cool with that. There are just these little digs at someone trying to be creative. I thought the fight choreography was really good. There are 2 or 3 fight sequences in the first half of the movie.
Part?
Yeah,
Ooh.
that were insane.
Ooh.
I actually think the final big climactic action beat was probably the least interesting of the 3. But I mean, when it comes to action, the first half is jam-packed. The third, of course, is filled with it, but I think at that point it's kind of drowned out. But Bad Boys paid attention to what people liked of the first 2 movies. They said, okay, rather than start writing a really complicated story, though this story is ridiculous, and like I said, the plot of this movie, you have to be very, very forgiving. It's not a very, like, Bad Boys 1 was a very straightforward cop movie that was kind of in the real world, yet we had really entertaining characters. The second one elevated that. This one goes Fast and Furious, right? You have really crazy stuff happening, but you still are just enjoying that one.
Huh?
Yeah, it is. And it just made me wonder, though, how much I enjoyed these characters. What if Bad Boys hopped on that train and there were multiple of them? Because you really could have brought in other people. You could have, done so much with this franchise, but I'm so glad they didn't, because Bad Boys for Life gave me everything I guess I wanted for these characters. Like I said earlier, was not waiting to conclude the Mike Lowry character arc, but I felt they did something really interesting here. I think they go really, really out there with it, but I'm cool with it. I think people will enjoy it. I think people will get a kick out of the action sequences, but people want to see Bad Boys for 2 reasons: Will Smith, Martin Lawrence. And this movie does not hold back on it. They're charismatic.
Great.
I honestly would say that it's my favorite performance from Will Smith and Martin Lawrence in some time. I have not enjoyed and smiled through a Will Smith movie like that. I can't remember when. So, I mean, that's a good thing. Do I think it's a movie that I'll remember in 3 months or care to revisit? Not necessarily. I got the gist and I had a really fun time. It's like when someone comes in town for a night and they say, hey, let's meet up for dinner. You have a blast.
Let's go.
Good. You don't want them staying at your house. You don't want them at the Hilton across the street for a week. The one night out is good. It's perfect. I'm sure a lot of people will love it and get a good laugh. I laughed many times.
Yeah.
I forgot how funny I think Martin Lawrence is. And even though these characters are so, I don't want to say flat, because there is depth to them, but they're so just like Martin Lawrence is this, he has these constant, tics, as well as, Will Smith. It never gets old. As cheesy as Martin Lawrence gets, he cracks me up the entire time. So, very cool action beats. The music remixing, Michael Bay cameo, all that stuff, really fun. I think this is what fans wanted, and I really respect these artists and all these people collaborating on this movie that really took the time and patience to wait for this script and to wait for this movie to happen.
Great January film.
Yeah,
a
solid January film and a solid action.
This easily could have been a May release.
This could have been an May release, and I think
release.
it would do well. I'm shocked. I usually don't see movie theaters do this well in a January. I mean, this.
Oh, it was packed here.
Busy, yeah.
It was packed.
So for people to really obviously miss those characters, that's awesome. And for me, that just excites me to see everyone excited to see movie characters and to be back in the movies. So I'm all about that.
What do you think? Bad Boys 4 coming or not?
So here's the thing. Now that I was like, all right, I'm cool with this, but. If today has showed us anything, obviously they're already working or probably thinking about ideas that they could do.
Where can we go?
Where can we go next? I'm sure the ideas and pitches and outlines and all the log lines are being written as we speak. For me, this was a good place. This is where I'm like, all right, cool, guys. I'm off the train. This was good. You're right. This one last ride was fine, but I don't need to see it again. Plus, I mean, where else do you go? Now you've kind of gotten we're catching up with them for the first half of the movie. The second half, we're solving the crime. I don't know, we can't catch up with them again, so they're just going to be solving crimes again, And they kind of did all that they needed to do here.
Love it.
Yeah.
Next week,
we got The Gentleman, a movie that looks pretty wild and so far has gotten some really, really good reviews. And then also The Turning, a little creepy movie where some 2 kids are seeing some creepy stuff. So obviously it's going to be a fun week here. Very different types of movies. You have like the kind of I don't want to say it's a gangster movie, but it looks like a good crime thriller. And then you have The Turning, which looks like a little bit of a horror. So all here next week, AMC Town Square on Thursday. So make sure to join us there for that. Make sure to text this guy at
555-888 and then text the word Superman, which is Superman, right? So text 555
HSUPERMAN. That's H Superman.
Yeah.
Make sure to text that. Get all the prompt text filled out, and then anytime we have a premiere, an event, anything,
we have a lot of stuff coming on.
You will be first to know. We have so much coming up this year. We have stuff coming up in February. We want you to be a part of, so make sure to join us for that. Or if you just want to join us next week for The Turning or The Gentleman, make sure you could reserve your tickets and do all that stuff now through text. It makes it a lot easier
for everybody.
Yeah, so we appreciate you guys. Thank you so much coming on this journey. We hope to see you here at the movies many times this year. So come on, guys. It's January. It's time to get out. Let's go.
ChaseYouSummit.com is known as
the Film Lovers website.